Saturday, October 18, 2014. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1991 Volkswagen Vanagon. I was actually taking the Vanagon out of the driveway because I wanted to put the Subaru in its place and do some work on it. And I'm backing the van out of the driveway, and my wife is telling me that the brake lights are not working. So I had to pull the van right back into the driveway to diagnose that, because if I have to drive the van for a few days while I'm working on the Subaru, I need brake lights. Otherwise, I'm going to get rear-ended, or I'm going to get a ticket. So anyhow, I'm just going to run you through what I did to diagnose the brake lights. The very first thing I did was I actually went into the van under the dashboard and I checked the fuse for the brake lights. Now on the Vanagon, or at least on the late ones like this one, the 91, the brake lights are fused separately. So I pulled the fuse out and it was perfectly intact. So put it back in. That wasn't the problem. Then the next thing I wanted to check was the bulbs themselves. Although it would seem odd to me that both brake light bulbs would burn out simultaneously, it certainly is possible. So I removed the 4 Phillips head screws on both lenses and checked the bulbs, and they were fine. I even got another bulb out of my parts stash just to check it, and that was fine. So let me show you the third thing I checked. So finally, I went into the van here, and I wanted to check the brake fluid pressure switches on the master cylinder. In order to do that, I had to pull out the instrument cluster, which is not a big deal. There's just the plastic cover over it, 4 screws, a couple of a few electrical connections, and the speedometer cable. So that came out in just a few minutes. And you can see here at the bottom of the master cylinder these 2 switches. And I have personally never seen these go bad on a car before. My theory here is that Volkswagen used 2 switches just for redundancy. So what I did today was I actually pulled the electrical contact here off of each switch, and I did clean the contacts on the switches themselves. That had no effect. And won't be able to hold the camera and show you, but you can see there's 2 contacts here inside this connector. Same with the one on the back. So what I did was I just got a little piece of wire, and let's see if I can grab the connector again. And I stuck the piece of wire into each side of the connector. Then I went to the back of the van, and I'm not sure if I had to have the key turned to the accessory position, but I did. I did have it turned. And the brake lights came on. So I tested this one, and I tested the other connector, both individually, and the brake lights came on both times. That's why I think there's 2 switches for redundancy. It's just a backup thing. But basically, that's my problem. That's how I diagnosed it. I was able to do the diagnosis in, end to end in under 10 minutes. So if your brake lights aren't working on your Vanagon, this is definitely something to check. So this is Mercedes Diesel Guy. Thanks for watching.